you later. After the mess had been cleared up and the trucks delivered, Elstone made her way back to the colliery. When she returned, her driver had stern words with her.
You've really let your self-centered attitude get the better of you this time. I don't know what Mr. Harris is going to say when he gets here, or what even the rest of your class would say if they knew about it.
Don't dare bring them into this.
Oh.
It's not their problem, and if it was, they would definitely agree about me pulling drugs, and a number of them can't even have a say just because they are no longer with us.
I'm sorry I raised my voice at you, Elstow. What I reckon you should do now is have a think about the incident and how you're going to set things right. Because at this time, you're not going to get back to your elders after this.
Look, I know what I did was appalling. I may have thrown a wrench in the works, but...
We get that you're owned by a trust that cares about engines like you. But it's something you should be grateful for. Not just proud of or something to boast about, because if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be here right now.
Indeed.
So don't mess up again, Elstow. Or else you will never pull rail doors again.
As
You
her
should
driver
try that,
finally
take it for
walked away,
granted.
Elstone took her driver's words on board. She wasn't sure what she was going to say to Mr. Harris when she next saw him, or if she would be allowed to pull rail tours again. But what the Great Western Manor did know was that she had a lot to think about.
What's going on?
Mr. Mantell, we've got a problem.
Is it a steaming problem again? If so, that's the 4th time this month this has happened.
No, sir. It's nothing to do with the number 1 this time.
Then what is it then, Charles?
Number 14 is missing.
Number
Missing?
14.
That's what the others are saying. Man and machine. He was last seen yesterday and... Sir?
Keep this quiet.
What? But, sir...
I said keep it quiet. If a single word about that engine's disappearance gets out, or even he breathes a single word about our operations...
Mr. Mantell, is there something you're not telling us?
Just get back to work. And keep your mouth shut.
Okay. Good grief, man.
If I, or anyone else, give out information or details about number 1, or how she was built,
Number 1.
the authorities would
How
be
she was
here
built.
within seconds. We would cease operations and my flagship engine would be scrapped. I need this company to continue no matter what. Or my name is not Granville Mantle.
Taylor. One of them's bullies. One of them's old bullies. The grand finale to season 2. Turning a new leaf.
Elstoke Manor sat in the shed at Eversley Colliery, thinking about what she had done. Her accident with the coal trucks had caused a lot of trouble, and Mr. Harris had told her to stay in the shed. As she looked around the yards, she thought long and hard about what her driver said. Elstoke was just thinking about what she had done when her driver, fireman, and the foreman came over to see her, who were then followed by Dom. Mr. Harris climbed down from Dom's cab and came over to join the 3 men and engine. Now then, Elstoke, I think it's time we had a talk about what happened.
A discussion.
There is a big order of coal that needs to be delivered to Apple Green Junction. The order was so big, it needed all the engines to help out.
Yep, all hands
But
on
they They have been struggling to handle the job on their own all week.
Because they have their own work to
We
do.
needed help, and Don said you could help us. I thought it was a good idea, and so did your owners.
We agree too, but your grumpy and self-centered behaviour caused a lot of trouble. And you didn't slow down when I told you to.
This order is likely not going to get done in time, but it's important we meet the deadline and finish on time. And that's where we need you, Elstoke. You are stronger than the little engines. That makes you the perfect engine for the job.
And
Come
that's
on,
tracking
Elstoke. We need to get this job finished and completed before the end of the day. But in order to complete this, we need to work together and focus on the job.
engine.
Please,
Agreed.
Elstoke. I know you don't like work that involves trucks, but we need you.
Indeed,
I'm
we do.
sorry, sir. I'm just not used to pulling trucks. I'm more of a passenger engine, and the thought of pulling trucks makes me feel uncomfortable and damaging to my image.
Handling trucks is just as important as pulling passengers. And
Yeah.
even if you don't want to do the job, it still has to be done.
The sooner we finish the job, the better. Then you can go back home. You don't want the trust to be cross with you, do you?
Elstoke listened to this and thought about her behaviour towards the resident engines. She really didn't want to pull trucks, but realised that unless the job was completed, she wouldn't be allowed to go back home.
Very well, sirs.
There she
If it
is.
means a lot to you and your railway, I'll finish the job.
Thank you, Elstoke.
Yes.
Now, can you please take the next train to the junction?
Yes, sir.
There's a good engine. Elstoke is doing the right thing.
On their way, Elstoke was puffing along nicely, and her crew were trying to make up for lost time. But this time, Elstoke kept to a reasonable speed. By the time they reached the junction, the train was late, so had arrived safely. The trucks were uncoupled, and Elstoke went to take on more water. As she was being filled up, Pav puffed up alongside her.
You were pretty foolish not slowing down and causing that accident on the line. Did you have any idea how much trouble you caused?
No, I didn't at first,
At the time
but after
she did,
spending time in the shed,
but now she
I had
does.
time to think about it.
Well, I think you need to do some more thinking, because the others are still not happy with you. If you want to sort things out with everyone, I suggest you think long and hard about how you're going to put things right. Maybe turning over a new leaf might be an idea.
And
Yeah,
Pav
turn
went
over
back
the
to
leaf.
work, leaving Elstoke feeling puzzled.
Basically, that's how this video or episode. Yeah,
Once she
episode.
arrived back at the colliery, Elstoke couldn't get what Pav said out of her mind.
Turning over a new leaf might be an idea. Well, what does that mean?
It means making a change in yourself. It could be making a fresh start, or changing one's conduct, or attitude.
What good would turning a new leaf do for me?
Maybe you could turn a new leaf by changing your attitude towards the other engines.
Me? Change my attitude? My attitude isn't that bad. Is it?
If you came up here more often, you may get some enjoyment out of your
Flashbacks are a
trips.
big deal.
No, thank you. I think I'll stick to my own rails, thank you very much.
Alice may be smaller than her bigger predecessors, but she's still a steam engine like you and me.
More likely her shyness will not only cause trouble, but a big embarrassment to the whole railway.
With you helping us out, we can get this delivery done in double time.
I will not be part of this big delivery. That's your job, not my problem.
I once knew an engine who in some way was like you, but just as disgusting.
Am I really a mean engine? I mean, I know I can be rather stern and perfectionary, but am I really self-centered? But I never want to leave you here and everyone else. It just isn't fair that I got preserved and you haven't.
Elstow Commander, listen to me. Some of our class were withdrawn and scrapped before me, and those that have been saved probably feel the same way as you do. It isn't really anything new. But promise me this, Elstow. Don't take being preserved for granted. Just be happy that you are being taken care of and do the Great Western Manors proud.
I will, Dudley Manor. I promise.